Hello. How are you, Brianna?
Hi, it's so nice to be here with you. I'm blessed. How are you?
Wonderful.
Excellent.
I mean, I'm going to say, to be honest, as wonderful as I can while learning a new reality.
You know, I feel like every obstacle is really just an opportunity to learn and grow. And it's during the biggest challenges that our unique superpowers come out and we really find out where our true strengths lie. Um, yeah, so,
I'm totally on
as
board with you.
challenging as this time is, I feel like it's also exciting.
Exactly. And, I'm so on board with you. And, um, we were talking about this earlier today, so I'm going to just bring it up. But I'm on board with you. And I think this is the reason why I am even more excited to talk about and think about and get ready to launch Bridges 613 and its podcast. And I feel like even more so now it's necessary.
It is more necessary than now more than ever. And I'd like you to, for a moment, just share what exactly is Bridges 13 as a concept.
So Bridges 613 comes out of the thought that there are so many people in the Jewish world that are saying, oh my gosh, no one's connecting, no one's being involved in the traditional organizations, and the continuity of Jewish life is potentially doomed. And I don't believe in that. I don't believe in it at all. I believe that uh, there will be Jewish life going forward, and it's just going to look different from how we've been used to it looking. Um, and I want to provide a platform to bridge people together to get to where I'm feeling and to get to my hopefulness. And I feel like there's enough going on out there that I can actually um, settle some concerns. And I hate to say the word prove it because we can't prove anything in general, but I mean, I feel like I can do something to help people's concerned and at the same time get people connected to the innovations that are going on in our community. So that's where my passion is, and that's where uh, the impetus of Bridges 613 begins.
Thank you so much for sharing that. I'm curious, I've known you for a long time, we're best friends, and so I've really heard and seen the evolution of this concept of a nonprofit and this concept of a podcast, and you know, you identifying that there is a need in the Jewish community to create non-traditional ways for Jews to come together and connect on deep interpersonal level. So I really respect the vision that you have and
Sorry,
recognize that it is imperative in this day and age to connect deeply and for people uh, from our tribe to have a place to do that is what a lot of people are craving, and they're confused on where to find that. And you're I agree, it's an interesting time to actually launch this podcast because not only were you spot on with this vision that you've been planning for the last countless months, but it's more relevant than ever right now because as people are being separated from not just the traditional settings that the Jews are gathering in, but from all settings, um, we are feeling the need to connect more than ever. And a lot of people are looking for ways to connect and are just confused on what the options are and haven't found something that resonates with them. And so this is a really cool concept that you have that I think a lot of people are going to really enjoy. And it might even be the catalyst for them reconnecting to Judaism or connecting to Judaism for the first time in a new and unique way.
Yeah, and I want to push back on one thing you said, although I agree with everything, and this is the time. I don't feel like I'm creating, honestly, I don't feel like I'm creating a new way of Jewish life. I feel like those have been created and continue to be being created by some amazing leaders, visionaries, um, innovators in our Jewish world, and especially here in the United States. I can't speak much for outside of the States. And I really want to be the catalyst to shed light on those organizations and those people. And I know about them, but not everyone does. And I want to be the catalyst to bridge people to those and to push more information into the world about all the amazing things that is taking place and will continue to grow. And goodness knows, these past 2 weeks, all the amazing things that have come out of uh, being in a social distancing situation. So that's the only thing is, I don't know that I feel like I'm creating, but I feel like I'm in a position to bring everyone together and bridge generations and bridge uh, between people that are uber connected in the Jewish world to people that are, maybe more on the fringes, but may have a desire to get more involved or to get more information.
Yes, yes, exactly. That's what I meant. You are the bridge for all these great organizations. So, can you maybe share with us a few of the organizations that are near and dear to your heart? And also, I'd love for you to touch on your Jewish journey and what led you to identify that synagogues weren't the only place that Jews could go to connect.
So there's two questions there. Those are two great questions, but I'm going to break it down. I'm going to go to your second question first, is a little bit about my Jewish journey. So for people that don't know, Brianna and um, I need to remind you, Brianna, but anyway, we met doing leadership work for Hadassah, which is an organization that's one of the strongholds, has been one of the strongholds of the Jewish community for over 100 years. And we met, and really the two of us and some other women that were in our leadership group talked about, what do we do as younger women to create that sustainability and to create, we knew we were the youngest in Hadassah. We knew that people our age didn't join Hadassah for the most part. And what could we do to bring them either into Hadassah or into other organizations, but just bring them into the folds of Jewish life? So that being in Hadassah created my passion and my awareness of a huge demographic of people at every age range that aren't finding a home in the traditional Jewish organizations and institutions, and are looking for new ways to connect. I think that's really what started me thinking about this idea, started me getting interested in it. And even that point, which was what, 5 years ago, Brianna, we met in 2014, right? 2013. I realized I didn't even know or was aware of many of the organizations that were really reinvigorating and innovating this space. So, I mean, that's where my journey for Bridges started, but I have to say my Jewish journey really, really started in my family, with my home, in my synagogue, coming from a place of growing up where we weren't in a highly populated Jewish neighborhood, but something deep in my neshama, in my soul, said I needed to connect with the Jewish world. And I've felt that probably as early as 12 or 13 years old. So I've always had this passion, and just through the years it's grown and grown. And I think because I've lived it so long, it makes me in the best place to create this bridge. And so let's go
Absolutely.
back to your first question, which, oh my gosh, now I don't even
So
exactly
my,
remember it.
that's beautiful, and thank you so much for sharing a little bit of your Jewish journey. I have, as you said, we met in 2013 as National Leadership Fellows for Hadassah, and that was the beginning of our beautiful friendship.
I'm sorry. I'm gonna stop the recording 1 second. I'm gonna run and close
Just
the
mute
door.
yourself. Just mute yourself.
Yeah, I'm gonna go close the door.
And that was the beginning of our beautiful friendship, um, as well as really a turning point for you when you really stepped up to be a leader in so many Jewish realms. You were also involved in your synagogue, and you were involved in your local and regional Hadassah. You were involved in Hebrew school. And can you hear me?
Hear everything you said, but I'm sure it's great.
I said, there are so many things. Thank you so much for sharing your Jewish journey, because there are so many things in it that are important to showcasing how you became so interested in bridging the gap for creating Jewish community in the 21st century. And we met in 2013 as National Hadassah Leadership Fellows. And that was beautiful. That was the beginning of our friendship, but it was also, a turning point in your Jewish journey where you became a bigger leader. You decided you were going to go to grad school, and you decided that you were already a leader in your local and regional Hadassah group. You were already involved in your synagogue and on the board. You were already a leader in Hadassah on a national level. You were already a Hebrew school teacher and involved in Jewish education. And so you had this interesting perspective um, that I think allowed you to be so open to learning about all the different types of Jewish opportunities that were coming up. And when we met, we actually together learned of a lot of different Jewish, uh, cool Jewish things happening.
Now you reminded me. Your question was, what
Yeah,
organizations are some of my
that's
favorites?
exactly
Yeah,
right. So,
you just reminded me.
it's beautiful to see how you now have taken the learnings that we did years ago on, a surface level, and have really gone very, very deep to find tons of niche organizations and groups that can support Jewish communities of all ages. And so my first question was, what are some of the
I remember.
nonprofits and organizations that you have um, found through all of this research that you love? I know you're going to be showcasing lots of them on the podcast in the different episodes, but maybe if you could just touch on 2 or 3 that you
Yeah.
really appreciate and why.
Yeah. So I'm going to start with the most obvious one, and the one that I learned about from you when we started on this was, you told me we need to do a project with Moshe House. And I was like, what's Moshe House?
Yeah.
And again, like that was 2014 at that time. And Moshe House had been around. I know Moshe House now has been around for over 18 years. Although back then, a lot of people didn't know about it. So just in case you don't know about Moshe House provides homes in a co-rent, co-providing space for people of the ages of from 22 to 32 in return for having a place to live, they create Jewish community for their peers, people that live in Moshe houses. That's a basic overview, and there's so much more. I can spend an hour telling you about Moshe House. They do so many other amazing programs, but the gist of it is there are Moshe houses all over the world where groups of 2 to 5 people, like I said, in the ages of 22 to 32, they live and they create Jewish programming for their communities. And I was really excited when I learned about them, and I continue to be excited all the time because they are constantly reinventing themselves, and they have a mindset of what else can we try? How do we up level this? And you never hear them say, well, we've always done it this way, so we need to continue to do it this way. That's almost a forbidden thought in their patterns. And we see this all the time with all the new things that they throw out there. And some things have been great and some things have not worked. And that's how life is, that you have to try a lot and see what works and what doesn't. So I continue to be inspired all the time by Moshe House and the growth and the impact they're having. That's the first one, and that's really on a national level. I really want to talk to you. I'm so excited to talk to you about a local organization called Shy Tribe, which is a little over a year old, and it's here in Chicago. And it's started by a friend of mine, Rebecca Schwab. And Rebecca saw a need for a Jewish community calendar, one place you could go and it would aggregate everything that was going on in the Jewish community for that week or day or month in one central location. It was something that Chicago hadn't seen. And in the year that she's been around, a little bit over, it's blown up. I don't want to say it's not just Rebecca. She has a team, she has a board. But Shy Tribe has been listed as 10 of the organizations that are up and coming, innovative to watch this year. So they were the 10 to know in Slingshot. They are drawing out people that would not normally come out just to gatherings, just to have a drink together. When she puts out a call that, hey, we're going to have this happy hour and 100 or so plus people are coming. She is sending out amazing content all the time on what is going on in the Jewish community in Chicago. She focuses on highlighting a Jewish person of the week. She does Jewish dog of the week. You can follow them on shytribe.org. Of course, they have an Instagram, Shy Tribe, CHI Tribe. And I'm really excited about what they're doing. And mostly, and I had a whole conversation with her about this, is can she give tools to other people that want to do this in their cities? Like, I'm sure there are people right there in Houston that are looking for something like that, a Jewish type Houston hub of everything that's going on. So she is happy to help people in other cities create that for their local communities. And that's what's exciting, that this could be taken anywhere. And she really is a great resource for that. So I'm very excited about Shy Tribe. And it's hard to narrow down. Those are the two top ones for me, but it's hard to narrow down. There are so many others. I just recently learned about a group that's empowering women, and they're in the DC area. I believe their organization is called Sviva, SVIVA. And like I said, I just learned about them, but this past week they did a virtual well circle to celebrate Rosh Chodesh Nisan. And it was led by this is another organization that I'm so excited about. It was led by Sarah Waxman, which of course, Brianna, you know Sarah. Sarah Waxman, who is the founder of At the Well. project. I know. And so Sarah led this virtual well circle where we all came together in sisterhood to celebrate Rosh Chodesh. It was beautiful, even though we couldn't be together in person. It's a new world out there, a new way of connecting globally. I met wonderful women, mostly in the DC area, but it doesn't matter because like they can be in my living room, just like you're sitting in my kitchen with me right now. So Saviva is a great new up and coming organization. And then I mentioned at the Well Project, Sarah Waxman, and she has well circles happening at this point, over 200 of them all over the world, and a new way of women connecting through Jewish ritual and sisterhood. And Sarah's done an amazing job of creating resources for those of us that want to create well circles in our own communities. And the resources are based in Jewish literature and Jewish texts, but they're also rich in humor and modernity and being very, very in touch with finding meaning in the world now, in this generation that we're in now. So, I mean, I could probably talk forever about organizations, but I think those are the ones that are top of mind today, anyway.
What I love about all of the organizations that you mentioned is that they're all so different. And so if somebody wants to just show up at a Shabbat dinner or a float the river event on a Sunday afternoon at a Moishe house in any city, that's an option, as well as, women coming together to learn through the lunar calendar. It's also beautiful. And then you mentioned hyper local organizations that are, specific to your city or town. And I think that all of those just demonstrate the vastness of the opportunities that are out there in the Jewish community that, a lot of people are just completely unaware of. And so things being available for people of all generations is
Yes,
such a beautiful thing.
you read my mind. I was thinking about the generational piece, that there's things going on out there that are really, really for everyone of all generation. And the other thought that's really come to mind is the majority, these organizations are open to being post-denominational, no matter how you celebrate your Judaism, whether it's Reform, Orthodox, Conservative, whatever, or not. If you don't feel like you're part of a denomination, it doesn't matter. This is beyond that. And these organizations are open to everyone, regardless of how they identify as gender related, and open to the LGBTQ community. And even when I talk about, for instance, at the Well Project, it doesn't say it's just for women, it's for those who identify as women. And I love that all of these organizations are open to the way that we are living life today.
I agree. And I am looking forward to hearing you interview a lot of the different founders and executive directors and thought leaders behind these new Jewish offerings that are really going to be the way that we continue into the next generation of staying connected. So yeah. Thank you so much.
And how exciting that we can do this even now at a time when we may be stuck in our home with kids yelling at us or dogs barking at us, or we're home by ourselves, but I'm not feeling so by myself with having you in my kitchen with me, and that we can just do this in a new way. And
yeah, absolutely.
This going forward is going to give us a whole new way of celebrating our Jewish lives.
It's interesting to see how all of the Jewish institutions that you've been researching have begun to pivot into this new digital age. And so I think that it'll be cool for you to start showcasing the different offerings that are happening online in real time so that people can just jump right in and start experiencing it. So thank you so much for having me today and letting me interview you and get a peek behind the curtain of where you are coming from with understanding the desire and the need for the next generation to have relevant ways to connect with each other. And I'm looking forward to seeing where this goes.
Thanks for being with me, Brianna, and thanks for being one of my biggest supporters, being a huge inspiration to me. I've learned so much from you, and just you getting me on this call today. Honestly, I feel like this is the first time we're going to have a live offering on our Facebook page, so that's a huge hump, and I'm excited about it, and I'm so grateful to say that the first one is with you, my friend.
Absolutely. And for all the people that are listening right now, um, I have two thoughts. One, definitely check out the Facebook page that this is on because there's going to be different offerings of events that you can dive right into right now. And two, who are the people that have really touched your life in your Jewish journey? And how might you be able to reach out to them while you're at home and see what they're up to? Connect with them, ask how they're doing.
Oh yeah, thank you for leaving us with that. Please, everyone, heed Brianna. Reach out to your Jewish peeps. Let them know that you're doing well. Make sure they're doing well. And I'm going to close by saying, stay safe, everyone. And good afternoon. Bye. See ya. Yeah, I'm going to end this meeting.
No, you just stop the recording.
I can't see the button for it. So I'm going to end it and I'll call you.